Hello guys, what's up? Lalapolalaa again. So in today's video, I'm gonna show you guys, or basically share with you guys how you guys can send uh, email notification using Node.js. So as you guys know, you guys can find this tutorial all over the YouTube, or you guys can just go to Google and just Google send email using Node.js, something like that. But the difference in this video, I'm going to show you guys how you guys able to send email from your uh, dedicated domain name. So basically, if you have a domain, you subscribe to a domain, your own domain name. Basically, your basically you have your name at your domain, something like. Let me give you example. So if you have something like maybe something like uh let's say I'm gonna use my name, right? Lalapolalaa Newb at Newb.com. So basically, this is my domain name, and this is the extension of my domain name. So basically, in this video, I'm gonna show you guys how you guys can send email notification for your from your system using your own domain and your own extension domain extension. Not just sending from just gmail.com, but you can send from whatever email that you create from your domain. So why don't we start the project right now? So basically, I already post the project in my GitHub repo. So basically, you guys can go to my GitHub repo link in the description down below. So that repo gonna look like. Let me check first. Bring the window over here. So basically, this is the repo. The title, the repo name is sendMail. So the inside this sendMail repo, you're gonna have a final version of it. Just a simple. We're gonna have index. Basically, we're gonna do npm init, and we're gonna have package JSON. We're gonna create a folder of routes, which gonna have only one file in it, which is home.js, and also we're gonna create a folder named controllers, which gonna handle our the sending of our email to the whatever people that want to whoever email that we want to send the notification to. So it's a simple project to show you guys how to send email from your system from Node.js. So as usual, you guys can just git clone this project to your machine or to your PC or laptop, and then we're gonna start from there. So open your choice of code editor. I'm using uh, VS Code, Visual Studio Code. So you can choose, you can use any kind of code editor that, of your option. So I'm gonna go. So the first thing that you guys gonna do is git clone the project. If you guys don't want to see the final version of it, so you guys don't have to clone the project. But anyhow, I already have the project inside my system right now. But before we proceed reading the README file, why don't I just show you guys the final version of it? So this is the final version of it. It's simple, just a simple final version of it. So we just gonna do a simple form, which basically whoever want to subscribe to our newsletter, then they will have to insert their email, any email that they want to insert, and then after this hit submit, then basically the system will send a notification to the whoever that requests to get the newsletter. Let's say I want to request to get the newsletter, right? So let's say uh, I'm gonna use this email of my yahoo.com, and then I'm going to hit submit. You already subscribed to our newsletter. Thanks for the subscription. Let me just refresh the page. Okay. Uh, oh, something wrong. But anyhow, let me check my email. So right now I don't have anything in this yet since already subscribed to the system. But let me check the code uh, first. I will continue back after I've checked the code. Okay, there's nothing wrong with the code actually. I just need to refresh or basically rerun the the app again. So right now I do we test our system. So we know for now if I insert and submit my uh whatever uh whatever email that I have in here. So basically, if I after I hit submit, then this the application will send a notification, email notification to my email that I put inside of here, muhammadfatih@yahoo.com. So then I will able to check inside my inbox in my yahoo.com, and also I'm able to check it from my Gmail send over here. It should be inside of here also. So let go back to our main application inside here. So I'm gonna put my email, hit submit, wait for a moment. Then you successfully subscribe to our newsletter. Basically, this is a success message. If we have an error message, then we're gonna display it up here. And otherwise, if it's success, then we're going to tell the the guest whether the sending of the email notification is successful or not. So basically, it's successful. Subscribe to our newsletter. So then we can check our email. So you guys can see that we have an email newsletter subscription. Open it. This is just the simple body that I create. Hi, Muhammad Fatih, Muhammad Noor at yahoo.com. Thank you for subscribing with our uh, maybe this could be your own website. http lalapolalaa.com. Sincerely from the system, Lalapolalaa, something like that. And then of course we can check in our uh, Gmail because we use Gmail inside of this. We hit send. Yep, we have it up here. This is what we send uh, to a new guest that want to subscribe to our newsletter, right? So uh, the same body that we have. So basically, once guest hit submit uh, here, what's gonna happen? The application will send a notification email from uh, our user Gmail with this body. That's why instead of here we have the same body. So that's how the system works. So I'm gonna show you guys the first way. I'm gonna show you guys how you guys can send an email notification from your own Gmail account. So basically your own whatever at gmail.com. And then I'm gonna show you guys how you guys can send an email from your dedicated domain uh, dot whatever extension .com.net or .io. Then I'm gonna show you guys how to do that also. So why don't we go back to our code editor. So the first thing that you guys need to do, like I said earlier, you guys can create a new project, name it whatever you want to name it, or you guys can go to my GitHub repo and just git clone the project from there. So from here, let's go and see our README. Not here. So we go to our README. Just go straight down to step-by-step guide. So the first thing that we're going to do, let me just uh, zoom in a little bit. So step-by-step guide. The first thing that we're going to do is create a starter folder, and then we're going to npm init. So basically, we're going to use Node.js. So we need to use npm init, and then we're going to install just 4 dependencies. One is not known for dev dependencies and development dependencies, and we're gonna have 3 more: express.env and also not mailer. This is our main package over here that going to handle the sending of the email notification. Then of course we're going to create and set up our index.js. Next we're going to create our only home route, which are gonna have a get route and also post route. Which in get route we're gonna go all through all these, but why don't we just go it step by step. So from here, I'm just gonna go out and stop the final version of this system, and then from here, I'm gonna create a folder named starter, and I'm gonna cd inside starter, get inside starter. Inside of starter, I'm gonna do npm init. Package name, now description. You can just send mail application, something like that. Entry point, test command, get repository, keyword. Just hit enter. And author, you can put your name if you wanted to. Lalapolalaa Newb, license or have one, and just hit enter. So right now, after you did that, what you gonna have inside your folder is your starter folder, your package.json. So inside your package.json, then what else that we need? Go back to our list of step-by-step guides. We need to install dependencies. So we're going to install npm install the dev dependencies first. So -d nodemon. So nodemon going to be our the only dev dependencies that we're going to install. Let's just wait for it to finish. And after that, we're going to install a bulk of the 3 left: express.env and not mailer. So express dot env to handle our process environment variables, and also our not mailer, the main player or package that we're going to use to handle the sending of the email from Gmail account. Okay, it's just gonna take you guys a few seconds to finish. So we have all that already. Then we're going to set our this is going to be our start that node index.js. This is for our production. So, and we're gonna create one for uh, our development. So for development, we're gonna use nodemon index.js. It's safe. And then the next thing that we're gonna do is we need to create and set up our index.js. So inside our starter folder, just create a new file and name it as index.js. And then inside of here, like always, I'm I'm always gonna do this. If you watch my previous video, we're gonna have dependencies, and we also gonna have a global middlewares. Next thing that we're gonna have is routes middleware, or if I can spell it right, E. And last thing should be our database and server connection, but we don't use any database inside uh, for this particular project. So I'm just gonna do server startup. Yep, something like that. So for our dependencies, the first dependencies that we're going to import is express. So constant express equal to we're going to require express, and don't forget to create const app, which is comes from express function. Next is our .env to handle our environment variables. So constant .env equal to, we're going to require also .env, and then we're going to call .env.config, just like that. For our global middleware, we only have one global middleware. Since we're going to use form, then we're going to need a JSON body parser. JSON body parser, oh, double P, just one P. And we're going to use express body parser, but including the URL encoded. So express dot URL encoded. Instead of here, we are going to have a standard, which is going to be equal to false. That's the only global middleware that we're going to need. So for routes middleware, we're going to have just home route. And for our startup, server startup, this going to do app.listen. This is going to take our port number from process.env dot port, which we will create this .env file after this. So choose whatever port number that you guys are comfortable with. I'm just gonna put 3030. So if the server is, we're gonna console log server is up and running at port process.env.port exclamation mark save. That after the way, then the next thing we're gonna do, npm run dev, run the system. Okay, so it's up and running at port undefined. Okay, we did not yet create the .env file, so inside our starter folder, we just need to create a new file, then call it as .env. So inside .env, we need to declare our port inside of here, 3030, save, and then rerun it again. There we have it, a port 3030. And then we go back to our view over here, hit enter, and we're gonna get cannot get. That's normal, guys, because we didn't yet basically manage the route just yet. So go back to our step-by-step guide from our README. So we already create and set up our index.js. So basically, why don't we do it from here, right? Why don't I just zoom it a little bit? So we done here. We also done npm init and install dependency. We already done all of this. And done, and we already create index. Then the next thing that we need to create is our create and set up our home routes, which we're gonna have our get route and also our post route. So we're going to handle our get route first. So inside index, or maybe not, maybe inside our starter folder, we're gonna create a new folder, which we're going to name it as routes. So inside routes, we're going to create a new file, which we're going to name it as home.js. So inside of here, but before that, in our index.js, let's just link our home.js with our index. So the way we do it is by using middleware. Just call it routes middleware. The app.use just from the home, and we're going to require our nope, yep, our route, our home.js. And of course, we're gonna get an error because it didn't find routes yet, but never mind, just go to your home.js. We're gonna do the same thing, dependencies, and also we're gonna have routes. What what did I type there? And the last thing we're gonna have is export. So we're gonna do module dot spot. We're gonna export router, which the router dependency is gonna be express router. So constant router equal to going to require express dot router. Yep, just like that. And we're gonna do it step by step. So gonna have home get route for displaying home page. So for home get route, get routed dot get. So inside of here, home, and gonna have request and response, which gonna take a arrow function. So inside here, we're going to render home page. So instead of using EJS, I'm just going to use rest.send. So inside of send, I'm gonna do rest.send. So inside of send, I'm gonna do just a simple HTML template. So I'm gonna go with dev, not dev division, div. Close this div, and inside of div, we're gonna have h2. We're gonna have h2. This h2 get a news later from us now. Simple as that. And then we're gonna have a form to submit our email form, which gonna have an action of just slash our home post route, and then don't forget to put method also. So this method gonna be post. Close your form. That, and then inside of form we're gonna have two things. We're gonna have input, save close, with type of maybe I just put it required, with type of email, and name of email also equal name of email, and also I'm gonna put a placeholder equal to your email. Simple as that. And then we do need to have a button also. So not button, button. We're gonna have a type of submit, and then close it and close the button, not just to double T with submit. Like that. Now why don't we just go back to our okay, hit refresh. Okay, we get something like that. Get newsletter from us now. Email. But I want to make it centered to our just a preference. If you guys don't want to do it, then depends on you guys. So I'm just gonna do it simple. So to make it centered in our our browser over there, we just need to add inline styles. So I'm gonna add style of, I'm gonna do position relative, and then I'm gonna add width. Oh no, not width. I'm gonna add minimum height, which is gonna be equal to viewport height, and then I'm gonna make it display flex, and though I'm gonna make it as flex flow, it's gonna be column, and I'm gonna do justify content equal to center, and also forget to put line items equal to center also. Save. Yep, I got something like that. But next, I want to put a submit button under our email, our input. That's gonna be so. What I need to do? Oh, I need to for our form. We're gonna add the same thing. I think we could add the same thing, right? Just copy this and paste it down here. But I'm gonna change this height, something like that. Yep, let's do okay. And next thing, but the submit button, I'm gonna add another style over here, and then service time I'm gonna add a margin top, go to maybe 50 px. Okay, something like that. So we already have the look of the website. Get newsletters from us now. Just insert the email. Then the next thing that we need to do after we create a homepage, uh, why don't we're going to create our home post route. So instead of here, we're gonna post uh, just home, and we do need to use async because we are using we're going to run sending authentication of email which going to use a promise, so that's why we need to use a sync. So request also respond, which gonna take an arrow function. So first I'm gonna check whether we get our request the body or not, our form is working or not. So request the body, so this is gonna be our email. This email should be the same name as our email over here, right? So I'm gonna try to console log to see, not console log, maybe I will try to rest.json, see whether the email is sent or not to us. So go back to our homepage, refresh, and I'm gonna put just any email, submit. Yep, we have it here, any email. So we know that our post route is working. So yes, delete this. Okay, so next thing that we're gonna do is we're going to, what we're gonna do? What do you think that we're gonna do? Hmm. Hmm. We're going to send email to our no. Okay, since we don't have the the front end template, because we use this rest.send, then side of here, next thing that we're gonna do is basically I'm gonna create an error message handler. So basically, from our side of here, this is gonna be our error message, something like that. We're gonna print our error message inside of it. So by default, we're gonna do something like something like this. We're gonna use a ternary if else statement. So if do have error message, if error message equal to null, Then I'm gonna check whether it's equal to null. If it's equal to null, then we're going to replace it with uh, empty string. If it's not, then we're going to display the error message. If we do have an error message. So without the way, let's just see back, refresh. Error message is not defined. Let's just define as a error message. Let error message. Refresh, undefined. Okay, this is gonna go null. So something like that. So if we don't have any error message, and we're basically going to display empty string or just leave it blank like that. But inside of post, let's say inside of post we do have error message. We cannot just do like rest dot redirect, right? So if you do like rest dot redirect, uh, let's say we have an uh, error message over here that said uh, we have error, something like that. We don't have any way of sending this error message together when we redirect to our homepage to get our homepage, since once we get into our homepage, then the error message is going to be set to null again. So other way, in a way, we can handle this by uh, exclude this, not exclude, basically make it this one to become a function, right? So you just call a function with parameters of error message. So the way we're gonna do that is basically I'm gonna create another layer over here, which I'm gonna name it as page specific uh, functions, something like that. So this is gonna be our home page template. So this is gonna be a function, and the name of function is gonna be a home template. So this home template gonna receive a parameters, sorry, the parameter of error message. Instead of that, we're going to return our whole fish, something like this. We're gonna return all of it. Let me just indent it right, like that. And then inside of it, we're just gonna call our home template, and we're gonna pass our error message, which our error message go to null, which basically I don't have to redeclare it over here, just gonna send like that, right? So if we do have error message over here, let's just see it refresh. So nothing changes. That means it's working. So let's say if we send something email, let's say we do error, we want to print our error message instead of rest redirect. We're going to do it again, rest of send, which we're going to run our home template again, which with a different error message, something like that. So if we refresh, right now we don't have any message. Once I hit submit, let's say I have an email and then I hit submit, then the error message gonna uh, basically, if it's the code is working, then it will display we have error. Submit, we have error. So means that our code right here is working. So that's how we basically make it. Uh, Basically, we're able to make it work the way that we want, right? But if you do it for a production uh, application, then I wouldn't suggest you guys do something like this. If you want to pass your error message, you able to use any uh, third-party packages to hold your error message, or maybe if you have experience using Redis storage or session, you can use something like that. But instead, this simple application or project that we are doing right now, I'm just going to do something like this. So we right now we already able to handle our error message. So the next thing that we're going to do is basically once user let's say user already entered their any email, right? They already hit submit. Then we're going to display a successful message of their subscription to our newsletter, and then we're going to basically send an email notification to their email, right? But we don't want them to resubmit or basically insert again their email, and then they're able to submit again their email since they already have email, since they already basically uh, subscribe to our newsletter. So we're going to handle that next. But like I said earlier, we don't use any database for our purpose or project right now. So instead of using database, I'm going to use just an array to track. But like I said earlier, this should be your subscribers. This should be your uh, this one should be using DB database instead of just use uh, array like I did just here. So I just created let user. So basically, once user send, let's say I just send my email over here, hit submit, and then we're gonna have a successful message. And then I want to try to send again. Then I want to display error saying that I already subscribed to this newsletter. So what we're gonna do, uh, we're gonna have a default error message first. We're gonna create a default error message, which this could be thing like that. And then if we don't have any error, then our default error message gonna be successfully subscribe to our newsletter, something like that. This is gonna be our default error message. If we don't have any error, then this message is gonna be sent to our to back to our guest. So this is going to be the default message. And next thing that we're going to do is we're going to check if user already subscribed already subscribed. So basically, we're going to check inside our uh, inside our array over here whether our user already subscribed or not. But if you use MongoDB database something like that, then this should be how you query your whatever you want to create to your database, right? So I'm gonna do let user exist. Just I'm gonna declare user exist. So I'm gonna do users our I'm gonna for each. So inside for each, I'm gonna have a dedicated user inside of here. So this is going to do if user is equal to email that user key in, then our user exist is gonna be equal to true. Else I'm gonna do I'm gonna do user exist equal to false. So if user exists equal to true, meaning that the user already exists, then what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna return rest.send. I'm gonna call the home template again with the error message of this is gonna be dedicated error message. So I'm gonna send error message of you are already. Oh, I'm gonna do something. I'm gonna use backticks. So you are already subscribe to our newsletter. Where is my capital N newsletter? So thanks for your subscription. Yeah, that hit save if they already subscribe. But if they not already subscribe already, then we just going to uh, display the successfully subscribed to our newsletter. So why don't we test this first, right? But okay, we already create a default error message, and then we're going to check whether the user already exists or not in our database, in our storage. And before we forget, we need to add user to users array. Right? So we're going to be users dot push. Going to push the email inside of it. Hit save. So let's say if I'm a new user, not new user, new person that want to subscribe to the newsletter. So basically, after I hit submit, then it's going to check whether my email inside of this user array or not. If it's not inside the user array, meaning that it's going to set to false. So this will not be run. Instead, it will push my email inside the user array. And then it's going to display the error message of successfully subscribed to our newsletter. So why don't we try that first? Just gonna and then I'm gonna put any email. So I'm gonna hit submit. Successfully subscribed to our newsletter. And then I'm gonna do it second time. You already subscribed to our newsletter. Thanks for subscription. Even if I do it again, should give me you already subscribed to our newsletter also. Yep. It will retain or persist this user of the subscriber until we refresh our server, and then we put it again, and of course it will back to the default one, right? Since we already refresh our server, then our array up here is going to be empty. So right now we already uh, basically handle our error message and whatever that could happen if ever does happen. So the last thing that we're gonna do, we're going to implement uh, sending of email right now. So after we check the user is exists or not, we're going to basically send an email to notification email to user. If we fail at sending the email to user, then we're not going to if we fail, then we're going to inform the user that we failed to send notification to them, notification email to them. So this is going to be send email notification to request, which is going to be our customer, right? So I'm going to create cons of request request the naughty, the short form of notification. Then I'm going to await of send mail to requester. Then the parameter should be the email of the user. And then also I'm going to check if requester naughty equal to successful. Successful. If it's equal to unsuccessful, then I'm gonna append an error message, which the error message is gonna be gonna contain error message that up here we successfully subscribe, that you are successfully subscribed to our newsletter, but with addition of uh, with addition of unfortunately unfortunately fail to send notification to your email, something like that. So next thing that we're going to do, we're going to create our function of handling our sending of email, right? And send mail to requester. So go back to your starter folder, create a new folder, then name it as controllers. Controllers. So inside of controllers, create a new file and name it as email.js. Okay. So this is where our our sending of email notification happening. We're going to use a package and name a node mailer that we just installed earlier. So like always, we're gonna do this first. And we're gonna have dependencies, and also we're gonna have uh, email function. We're gonna have email function handler, and we're also gonna have add spot. So module dot add spot equal to our name of the function. So dependency is gonna be mm, node mailer. So constant node mailer equal to we're going to require node mailer. Just one dependency. We're gonna use just one node mailer, and then we need to create a async function since inside of here we're gonna have a promise. So async function send mail requester, which gonna receive a parameter of email. Then we're gonna have something inside of here. So basically, code something, code something here. Okay, what we're gonna code inside of here is basically come from uh node mailer. If you search, if you guys search your, let's say Google and just search for node mailer and then go to node mailer, and then you're gonna find it inside of here. So we already did npm install node mailer, and then the only thing that we need to do next is basically uh go to usage, and then the usage we're gonna have using Gmail. So we're gonna use Gmail. So there's a lot of setup you guys can do, a lot of ways you guys can basically implement Node inside of your Node.js. So the one that we're gonna do today is basically we're not basically gonna use less secure. If you guys search for Google less secure apps, so basically uh, hit the first link, and then if you guys did not uh, ever do this before, then you're gonna have something like what I have right here. So I need to enable this less secure apps access in order for us to basically make this not mailer to work, basically sending of email notification to work. But we're not going to use something like that. Instead, we're going to use auth auth 2. Basically, what auth 2 basically do is basically it's going to create a token for us that enable us to create to have the connection between our Gmail and our Node.js. Instead, we're not going to use something like auth, and then we need to specify uh, uh, our something like our user and our password of our Gmail. We don't want to use something like that because it's not secure to put something like that inside of your system, right? So if you go to uh, using Gmail and then go to auth 2, and then inside auth 2, you're gonna have a code that looks like this inside of auth 2. Just go way under. Yeah, the one that we have set up here. If you do something that like instead of auth2, we have something like maybe as SMTP envelope. I can't remember which one of it. Something like this. If you do like a testing SMTP, if you have something like this, and then you need to put your account user and account password. This basically are user and password are basically your actual uh Gmail. This is your actual Gmail username, basically your whatever at gmail.com, and then this is your actual password of your Gmail account. This is not basically the I'm not gonna say it's correct way to basically implement this sending of notification of email basically, but what I'm saying is that it's much better for you guys to use or auto authentication instead of just uh, directly put your uh, username and also your Gmail password, right? So instead, we're going to use auth2, which basically going to create enable us to create token, client ID, and client secret in order for us to connect with our Gmail account. So from here, let's just go to our auth, and then we basically going to do all this code that we have inside of here. So you guys can just code with me. So inside of here, the first thing that we're gonna do is uh we're going to create not mail transport info. So we're gonna let transport, if I can spell it right, let transport equal to not mailer dot, we're gonna create what create transport. So this is going to take an object of the first one going to be a service. So what service that we're going to use inside of it? Of course, we're going to use uh, Gmail. So we're going to use Gmail with capital G, Gmail, and then comma, and then we're going to have auth. So auth, we're going to take another object. So instead of auth, we're going to have type of authentication that we're going to do. And basically, we're going to use OAuth or two as our type of authentication. And then also we're gonna have email. Basically, this email is used to send email not or email main credential. Your email main credential, which is your uh, Gmail email. So this is gonna be user. We're gonna create our own environment variable after this. So Gmail, email, and then we also gonna have, we're gonna get, mm, we also gonna have client, client ID, which we're gonna get from uh, Google Console API, and that should be our oh, client ID. So this gonna be another client, our environment variable, and then we also gonna have our client secret, 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 which also we're gonna get it from Google Console API, Console API. So this is gonna be our client secret. this should be client secret. Yep. And next thing is our refresh token. Our refresh token, which we're going to get from or auth 2.0 playground. So this is going to be our refresh with lower keys of refresh token, and then this should be another environment variable of refresh token. Yep. First, we already create transport, and then next we're going to create our uh, uh, going to create body. No, yeah, body of mail, not body. I'm just gonna do all of mail. So under the here, we're gonna have let mail options equal to an object of first we're gonna have from who basically, yeah, we're gonna have from. So instead of from, I'm gonna put whatever name that I want to put inside of here. Let's say from should be from your system, right? Whoever requests to your newsletter, then this should be from you. So this I'm gonna just gonna put Lalapolalaa new, Lalapolalaa new, and then I'm gonna put uh my sender, my, or maybe for now I'm gonna put Gmail and Gmail email, and then we're gonna have to to whom that we're going to pass this. Uh, of course, we have to pass to this to our email, right? Because we only have email right now. Or instead of email, I'm gonna put request the email. So this should be our uh request the request the email to whoever want to request to our newsletter, right? Want to subscribe to our newsletter. Then we also need to provide our subject. Subject, I'm gonna put something like a newsletter subscription, subscript, sub, subscription, not subscription. And then the last thing should be our HTML. HTML. This is gonna be our. We're gonna keep. We're gonna call our. We're gonna create this. We're gonna create body of message, body of email, not message, body of email. So let mail body equal to. So instead of here, I'm gonna do like a div. This is gonna be our body that we're gonna send. So div, inside of this div, we're gonna have p of hi. Gonna close this p, and then we're gonna have b of slash b. This is gonna be bold of the requested email. Hi, whoever that want to subscribe to our newsletter, and then we're also gonna say thank you for your subscription. with us at whatever address that you want to put it inside of here. HTTPS. I'm just to put my own uh, website. Close this P, and then I'm also gonna do sincerely. I'm also gonna do like sincerely. Uh, like from the system. So inside there, I'm gonna do P. Oh, and that. Yep. My own. Nope. It's safe. So okay, and then this part over here, this three part over here, upside over here. This is just uh our information about the where our service and our authentication service. And this one is our just the body of the email, and this one is our mail option, which from who to whom, our subject and also our body of the email itself uh, over here. And then the last thing that we're gonna do, this part of here is a promise function, which basically the function that basically going to send the email, actually going to send the email. So we're going to return and also await, since this one the promise. So transport dot send mail, and then what mail that we're going to send is our mail option. And then this gonna be then success. If it's success, that we want to return successful. Successful. If it's an error, we want to return catch of error of unsuccessful. Save. Oh, save. So basically, once we already did all of this, and then it's going to run this to send our email with sendMail function that we call over here. And then we're going to return whatever that we have here. If it's successful, then we're going to if it's this the sending of the email notification is success, then we're going to return successful to our home.js that we capture inside our request the naughty, right? So if it's requested naughty equal to success, then it will not trigger this error message. So basically, our error message is going to be something like successfully subscribed to our newsletter, just that. But if it's written unsuccessful, then our error message gonna return successfully subscribed to our newsletter. Unfortunately, failed to send notification to your something like that. So the next thing that we need to do is to configure our Gmail email client ID client secret, also refresh token. But before that, I'm gonna create our environment variable first. Environment variables, which gonna be cons of process dot env. So inside of here, the first one is our Gmail, our Gmail email, and then we're gonna have Gmail's client ID, and then we're also gonna have Gmail's uh, client secret, and then we're gonna have Gmail's refresh token, email connection refresh token. So this is gonna be our Gmail underscore email equal to, it should be equal to, we're gonna use process dot env dot gmail underscore email comma, and then we're gonna have Gmail, or not Gmail, we're just gonna have client uh, client underscore ID, which also gonna come from our process dot env dot gmail client ID, and we're gonna have our client secret equal to process dot env dot gmail client secret. The last one we're gonna have is refresh token equal to process dot env dot gmail refresh refresh token save. So client secret, wrong way to spell it. Okay, so we need to go to our env. Then inside of here, we're gonna have our Gmail, Gmail email. We're also gonna have Gmail. Why don't we just copy? Gonna be much more easier. Copy this all. Oh, oh, paste it down. That here. That okay. That. And the last one. So we're going to find this and create this. So I'm gonna use my own rookie gamer for life at gmail.com. So rookie double O. So this is gonna be your Gmail email, your actual Gmail account. So rookie gamer for that account. So we're going to create our Gmail client ID now, client's secret, and also our refresh token. That's what we're gonna do from now. So from here, go to your Gmail account. Just open your Gmail account, and then what we need to do is, what you guys need to do is search for Google Console API, and then from there, click the first link, Google Developer Console. If you guys didn't ever yet touch this Google Developer Console, then you guys gonna need to do something like this, right? You need to just zoom it a little bit. You need to accept the terms and services, and also email that if you like, and email that if you don't want email that, then it up to you. But I will do. I would want it. So just agree, and then your free trial waiting. Do not try to credit Google Cloud. Just click dismiss. So you're able to select any project. If you don't have any project yet, what you can do is create any project. So I'm gonna create a project called sendMail with lower case of s. Organization. We don't need this. I'm just gonna create. So we have a project called sendMail. Let's just wait for it to finish creating our sendMail project. Okay, And then you don't have any API available to use yet. Enable API services, go to API library. Okay. And then the only API that we need to enable is Gmail. So click on Gmail API and click enable from there. Ready to finish enabling the API. Okay, now we already enable our Gmail API. Zoom out a little bit. Okay, then what we need to do is create a credential, and then we're going to create a credential of OAuth client ID. So to create a client ID, you must first set a product name on consent screen. Configure consent screen. Choose how you want to configure to register your app, including your target user. You can only associate one app with your project. Internal only available to use with your organization. You will not need to submit your app application available to any user with Google account. What it means by this? In this mode, your app is available to use any user with Google account. External app that requires sensitive or restricted user data must be first be verified by Google. This process may take 4 to 6 weeks. In addition, if you selected restricted scopes, you will need to go through 4 to 6 weeks. What if this? In this mode, your app is limited to G Suite user within your organization. You can communicate with your internal user directly about how you will use their data. Actually, I forgot about this part over here. What should I go for? Choose how you want to configure your and register your app, including your target user. You can only associate one app with your project. So since this external option gonna take us like uh 4 to 6 weeks uh, to basically verify the sensitive data, I'm gonna just go with internal. Why can't I refresh this page? I'm gonna go with internal for now. Internal. Great. What is this? What is this? What is this? What is this? Okay. Okay, guys, let me check my other Gmail for this part. Then I will come back to you guys after this. Okay, guys, we are back again, but I think we're just gonna go with we just have to make sure that why don't we just create an application name of sendMail, something like that. We don't need application logo, scope for Google APIs, email profile, OpenID. Just make sure you click on Rookie Gamer or whatever your Gmail that you want to use, and then hit save. Okay, done. But we don't need the verification so whatever. We just need to do the send mail part, right? To create the consent screen. But okay, from here, we run it again. Choose auth client ID. So application type gonna be web applications, and since we're building a web application, so name would be the web client for send mail. Send mail with capital of M. And then we need to add redirect URLs, basically a callback. So what we're gonna put inside of here is basically our let me just create no create client ID. Oh, next thing that we do is basically open a new tab, and then this is for our callback. Then our connection from Gmail account that's the URL that going to handle our connection between our Gmail account and our server is that we're going to use auth or auth playground. So click in auth 2.0 playground and then copy this URL up here and paste it down here. But make sure that you exclude this last slash uh, part over here that after auth background auth background. Exclude that part and then hit create. That's gonna be our URL callback. Then you're gonna have your client ID and also your client secret. I'm just gonna show you guys the client ID because since this I'm gonna delete this after this, but this should be sensitive code. This should be your sensitive data over here that you should not uh, show to anyone. So your client ID, go back to your .env, just paste it down there. And then for your client secret, just copy your client secret and also paste it down in your .env. Then the next thing that we need to do is to uh, also paste our refresh token inside of it. So uh, go to your web client, the sendMail, and then this you're gonna have access to your client ID and client secret on the right side of the page. Just zoom it a little bit, something like that. And then from your auth, I'm gonna zoom this also. Go to your the setting that you can find at rightmost button of the page. Zoom out a little bit, and then just keep all of this. Check this. Use your own auth credential. Then what you guys need to do is copy your auth client ID and paste it in the client ID input part, and then your secret also copy and put it inside your input of a placeholder uh, for your client secret. And then for step one, select and authorize APIs. What you guys need to do is write HTTPS colon and double slash of mail.google.com and then with ending slash authorize API and then select whichever Gmail that you want to use. Now I'm gonna use Rookie Gamer for live, and then advanced. Go to sendMail. I'm gonna grant a permission to read, compose, send, and permanently delete all your email. Allow. That's why you need to make sure that your client ID and client secret is not uh, anyone. No one should be able to know your client ID, client secret because you basically give access to that to whoever have that client ID, client secret to read and compose and also send or also permanently delete all your email from Gmail. So just make sure you put it somewhere safe. So allow. So once I'm allowed it, and then exchange authorization code for tokens. Click that button, and then you're gonna have something like this. Go back to your. It's gonna bring you to the configure request API. You don't have to worry about the step 3. From the step 2, just check on this auto refresh token before it's made. Make sure you check that first, and then after that, uh, copy your refresh token. The only thing that you need from here is just copy your refresh token and paste it inside your .env. So basically, from all of that, you can just close all of these. You don't need that anymore. But anyhow, I'm gonna leave it as that. Hit save. So we already have our. We're going to use our Gmail of Rookie Gamer for Life at Gmail, and we also already have our client ID, client secret, and also our refresh token. So and then all that we already declared up here, and then we already assigned it to Gmail email, client ID, client secret, and so on. And for our authentication, we're going to use this user is our Gmail account that we use for the authentication process. So instead of using our password, we use a token like client ID, client secret to create a refresh token for us. So we already have all of this. And then what next to do is basically uh, this uh, should be from our Gmail, of course. So this is going to be the first step, which I'm going to show you guys, where you guys able to send a notification from your Gmail account to whoever want your newsletter. So right now, if there is no problem at all, then the system should work just fine. So why don't we go back to our homepage, and then why don't we try? So I'm gonna try send to my own yahoo.com. I'm gonna hit submit. Wait it, wait it, wait it. See. Okay, we do have error right now. So send mail request is not defined. So this is not defined. Why? Oh, okay. My bad. We need to import that part. So basically, this is going to be our mail handler, then we're gonna have the cons, the oh, we're going to require oh, we're going to require our controller and our email. So we're going to call our send mail requester over here. So once we did that, and then this time it will work. Oh, already sent that. Already sent the why not I just do it again? Submit. You already subscribed. Yeah, we already sent it. So we go back to our Yahoo mail. Gonna see inbox. We don't have anything inside. Right now it's 6 p.m. Yep, we do have it over here. Newsletter just came in. Hi, Muhammad underscore Madno at yahoo.com. Thank you for your subscription with us at http://lalapolalaa.com. Yeah, we know for sure it's working right now. And then we're able to see it where came from, right? It came from rookiegamer4life@gmail.com. And then we're able to check in our send whether we send anything. Yep, we do send to uh we send it to muhammadfatih_@yahoo.com. So this is our send uh inbox. So right now we already able and completely able to send a notification email using our Gmail account. So that's the part one of the video. We're able to do it with no errors, some sort at all. So next thing that I'm going to show you guys how you guys can basically send from other than Gmail, maybe your own domain name. Maybe this one could be your any domain name.com or .net whatever that you want to put. So how we can do that? That's going to be very simple to basically to implement. So why don't we do that? Why don't we just play around with it? Yeah, it's working. So go back. So we know for sure that this right now is working. So go back to our read. So inside our readme, we already create and set up our home route, and we also already create our get, and function to handle our render of homepage. Post route also, we already set up error message handler, and we also already create and set up send notification email. Set up Gmail API at Google, and to get our client ID also. Clients we could also already did that. Set up callback connection, already did that. And This one also we already did that. Did that. So next thing that we're gonna do is basically uh and we already did the render part of the homepage for the post route, right? So this one is optional. Like I said earlier, if you just want, if you're looking to send an email notification from your own Gmail account, then that's fine. But if you want to set up and send your notification email from other than gmail.com, you want to send from your domain, your own domain, or other than your own extension .net.io or any kind of extension, then you guys can proceed and do the coding part. Not the coding part. The coding part is less from here and out. It's just how to set up your other than Gmail account. So we're going to do this next. What the only thing that we're going to put is we're going to create our sender email. So this is going to be our sender underscore email, which this gonna be whatever email that we want to use to send the notification to our requester. So I'm gonna do Fatih underscore no at nitachsfera.com. So this is my new domain which have extension of .com. So this is not a Gmail account. So basically, how am I able to send this dedicated domain name, a different domain name from Gmail account using the same code that we have here? So I will send email and copy this. Uh, instead of from using a Gmail email, I'm gonna use send the email. So if we do this right now, let's say I'm just gonna try and run this to see whether it's working or not. I'm gonna send to my own yahoo.com, submit, subscribe to this, and subscribe to our newsletter. Then I'm gonna go to inbox and see whether I get a message or not. So instead of you, yeah, we do get the message, but you can see that instead of here, we our s- from the message from Rookie still from our Gmail account. So how can we change this to become our own dedicated domain name instead of Gmail account, right? So this is going to be the same. So how we able to do that is by doing simple changes. Send the email from send the email, but this is not going to change anything since we are using our Gmail account right now. So in order for us to use our nitashfera.com, what we're going to do next is basically we need to have that email first, right? Okay, let me open my cPanel. Okay, I have my own cPanel where I store my oh, where I create my email. So I'm gonna show you guys how to basically uh interact your own email, custom email to your Gmail account. So I'm gonna get the security code for my authenticator app for my phone. For continue. So instead of you, if you have any hosting out there or any kind of hosting that you do that you have access to your email account, yeah, I already create my own Fatih at nonitasfera.com. So what I'm gonna able to do from here is I'm gonna hit manage. Not manage. I'm gonna hit check mail and then enter email address that you can access from your device. No, not that. I think I hit it wrong. So I'm gonna do connect device. Yep, this part. We need this part. You can configure this to your Gmail account. So basically, from here, if you check, I can just compose. If I hit compose, I can only compose as rookie gamer at rookie gamer for life at gmail.com, right? So I'm gonna show you guys how you guys can compose as uh, any account other than that. So go to setting, and then inside of setting, you're able to see this general label inbox, and go to your account and import. So under your account import, you can send email as rookie gamer, just rookie gamer for now. But you can add that basically. So I'm gonna check email from other account. I'm gonna check email. So the email address would be Fatih underscore no at nitouchsfera.com. Then I'm gonna hit next. Import email from my other account POP3, yes. And then I'm gonna do at nitouchsfera.com. And then you need to also specify the password. The password should be the password that you create from your cPanel the time when you create the email. So you should remember your password. So this one should be mail, should be same as this, mail@touchfera.com. Port should be this is incoming server, right? So you want to read from your, so this one should be 995. Uh, leave a copy retrieve server, always use connection, label incoming message. And then I'm gonna add account. Don't save. Okay. So you can now retrieve mail from this account. You will also would you also like to be able to send email as, yes, of course I want to send email as Fatih underscore no. So this one I'm gonna name as Fatih no and email there. Then I'm gonna treat as an alias. So I'm gonna hit next step. So this one as MTP server should be this outgoing server. Mail and Intasfera should be the same as incoming server. So mail dot. So the port should be 465. The username should be touchfera.com and the same password you put it before. And of course you have to use SSL at account. Save and then verify. This one you should get from your Gmail account inbox. Pieces. Uh, Fastest way for you to do that is basically I'm gonna go to account import, and then from here I'm gonna check email now. You can do it manually, or if you don't do it manually, then it's going to do it automatically for, I don't know, uh how in interval of how many minutes. So we already fetch one mail fetch. So go to inbox, it should be there. So Gmail team nitashvera.com. So this should be code. Copy this code and then go back to your verify, paste the code. Oh, sorry. Copy, paste the code, verify. Okay, done. Now if you hit compose, you can send either from rookie gamer forlife@gmail.com, or you can send us Fatih_no@dasvera.com. So with that out of the way, or basically already set up, if we go and send again using Fatih_no@nitasvera.com, so instead of us receiving it from Rookie Gamer at forlife.com, this should be changed to Fatih_no@nitasvera.com. So why don't we try that? So just gonna refresh this page. I'm gonna send to my own yahoo.com. I'm gonna hit submit. Successfully subscribed to our newsletter. If I try to send it again, it should give me you already subscribed to our newsletter subscription. And then I'm gonna go to my own yahoo.com. Yep, we already received it. So you can see it now. Instead of receiving from rookie gamer at gmail.com, you receive from fatih_no@dasvera.com. So the way you can do that is to basically incorporate your own dedicated domain .net.com or whatever extension that you choose to your Gmail account. So before previously I only able to send as rookie gamer for life at gmail.com, but now I'm able to send it as Fatih_no@dasvera.com. So the way you can do it by adding or basically import an account from other domain. So I already imported inside of here. So that's why I'm able to send as Fatih_no@dasvera.com. So if you guys have any other email that you create from your own domain, then you can basically import it inside your account import, and then you use it inside your system to send as a sender email. You can specify your sender email, but make sure that inside your auth, if you guys remember, we create a transport which basically consists of our what service that we are using right now. So we use Gmail as our medium to send the notification email, right? So because we use Gmail as our medium to send notification email, so make sure your user is your Gmail email. It's not from your sender email. It should be your Gmail email. Basically your rookie gamer for life at gmail.com, your own Gmail, your actual Gmail. This should be should not be changed to your sender email. This should be your Gmail account. So that's just the reminder for you guys if you guys want to implement this sending of notification using packages of not mailer. So that's all guys. That's all for this video. Like always, if you guys want to, uh, I'm also going to provide this in written form. So basically, if you guys want to read instead of going through the coding from this video form, you guys can go to my own uh, portfolio website, and then from there maneuver yourself to the blog page, and then inside this blog page, then this is going to be the latest one is going to be about implementation of uh, sending email notification using Gmail. So basically this I'm gonna update this blog page over here. Then of course in our project the latest one should be about this project. So that's all guys, and thank you for being here. Thank you for coding with me. So until next time or until next week. Ciao. Salam guys.